Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Hey, if you're tired of being you and you want to be somebody else, there's never been a better time to get in touch with exactly who you are and where you want to go. Go to the NoComfortZone.com or hit me up at Dan@the-No-Comfort-Zone. Let me know what's going on in your life. Let me know what adversity you're trying to get out of. Let me know what you need help with. But more importantly, if you got those goals and they're pretty good goals and you don't know how you're going to get there or you need a little support, I'm your guy. Hit me up and let me know where you're at. Use the blueprint. I promise it'll help. Bernie Brzezowski. That's my dad. He's dead. Died a little while ago. I don't know, when I was 27, 50 now. Hardest guy I've ever met. Dad was a Mike Ditka looking, walking tall kind of a guy who had a terrible stutter. He had a terrible speech impediment. He was teased mercilessly for his stutter, and I was teased as well. They used to say Bernie to me all the time. My dad was a basketball coach. He was a referee, and he was made fun of for the things that he did, and it was terrible. But my dad was tough as nails. My dad would not back. My dad was 6 foot. He was a 6 foot Polak. I'm Polish, so take it easy. So he was definitely didn't care about what people thought. Boy, he would let you know what time it is, and he would never back down from it. My dad was a tough guy, legitimately a tough guy. I remember as a kid one time I was riding home from football practice. This was in the 70s, back when you could do that. And I had probably a 3-mile ride on my 10-speed bike. And when I was done with practice, I'd get on my bike and I'd ride home. It was normal. Well, a couple of guys knocked me off my bike and tried to get me in their car. And I got scared. I ran a little bit. They ran off. And I came home terrified. I told my dad. My dad actually grabbed the baseball bat that he used to carry by the front door. We didn't have guns in our house. He threw the bat and me in the car, and my dad went around the neighborhood looking for these guys. Thank God my dad didn't find them, because my dad would have clobbered them. He was just that guy. So why am I bringing up my dad now? His birthday just passed, and I'm thinking a lot about him lately. And when he died because of cancer, so the guy is such a badass, he ended up getting lymph node cancer, Hodgkin's disease. He beat that. Then he gets stomach cancer. He beats that. Okay, this is over like a 10, 15-year period. And then he gets another bout of stomach cancer. And thankfully, he was able to see me get married. We came to Hawaii. He's always said this: if I didn't have to pay for all your kids' school, because he was a remarkable human being, he was mean to me, don't get me wrong, but he was tough and he did it for a reason. He was a good guy. But he said I could have packed up and moved to Hawaii. So when I was old enough and when I was desperate enough, if you listen to this podcast, I ended up moving to Hawaii. And he was pissed that I moved to Hawaii because it was so expensive. And he wanted me to save a little bit before I did that. Truth be told, at 21 years old, I got married when I was in the Marines. He was very unhappy about that. Actually hung up the phone on me when I told him I got married. But then he soon accepted my wife, who was 12 years my senior, and accepted her, and he was okay with it. Threw a big party for me at the house. And then when things didn't work out and they got divorced, he was so excited because I had an opportunity to come back home and we could mend our relationship and begin to live again together and be together. And I chose to move to Hawaii. To this day, that is one of my biggest regrets of my life, is not spending that time with my father and moving back with him to Illinois and spending time with him, because I miss him every single day. And like I said, he was a mean, tough guy, but he cared about me. What you don't know is that my dad, when he was growing up, my dad had such a volatile household and such a crazy upbringing. I think his father was alcoholic, but I'm not sure because he never talked about it. He ended up moving out and going into the YMCA. Back in the day, you could live in the Y. And he ended up living there because it was too hard for him at home because he was getting in fights with his father, so I believe. And my grandmother was tough also. So, Bernie, or Bernard, had a tough life, so he went into the Navy. My understanding is he saved up all of his money and sent it home. And my understanding is that his sister spent it all by the time he got home. And there may be a misunderstanding there, but my dad never really caught a break. But he did catch a break when he met my mom and they married, and did not catch a break when he realized that they couldn't have children because something going on with my dad. Wasn't sure what it was, but they identified that they couldn't have kids. So my dad and my mother, awesome people, decided to adopt 4 kids. And so Jeff is the oldest, Jennifer, second oldest, my sister Jessica is the youngest, and I'm towards the bottom middle. My name's Dan. Jeff, Jennifer, Jessica, and Dan. Go figure. I was adopted when I was 18 months. I already knew my name, so they couldn't change it. And just recently I found out my blood parents are from Canada, and I've never met them. Maybe one of these days I can meet them. I got all the information, just don't know if I should or not. They're in Canada. And I was born in the city of Chicago in the Polson area. Why am I doing this? You never know where life's going to take you. And when I talk about my early upbringing, I talk about my father, I could tell you this: when I was a young man, I could not stand my father and couldn't wait to get away from him. Now, can't stop thinking about him, and I miss him every single day. Because in life, the people that are hard on you but love you are the people you're going to remember. The people that kiss your ass and the people that tell you how great things are all the way, they don't really care about you. You need some people that are going to tell you exactly what time it is. And my dad was one of those people. And if you were to ask anybody, I think in our family, if there's anybody that resembles my father more than anybody, and that's going to be me. I think I turned out so much more like him. I went into the military. He doesn't know this, but because of him, he was so upset when I joined the Marines. Oh, you're going to wind up in the brig. I'm not going to sign for you. He had to sign for me. It was really tough. And he had some hard talks with me. But throughout my life, he's always been there. And then at 27 years old, when he passed away, it's, just a sad point. And that was a long time ago. But my dad always said that people will forget about him, but it's the furthest thing from the truth. To this day, people in the community, in the church community, he was a Grand Knight in the Knights of Columbus. He's a devout Catholic. And he was a good person and helped a lot of people that they don't even know. Even when he didn't have very much, he gave a lot of his time, his effort, and his money that he didn't have to help other people. He was a good dude, and he was a great husband to my mom. And this podcast really comes down to this. My dad lived for his family. My dad was outside of his comfort zone his whole life. And maybe that's why I'm so committed to this no comfort zone lifestyle, is because I look back at my dad and how hard it was for him and all the work he put through to make life a little bit better for me. And the punk kid that I was, didn't respect him enough. I learned respect when I joined the Marines, and now I understand respect by living life. And I just want to say this to you dads out there that discipline your kids. They're listening. It's worthwhile. To you people that actually take the time to spend time with your kids and coach their games and get involved in their life, and you're not your kid's best friend, that's okay. I'll tell you this, my mom and dad, they raised me right, even though I took every road to be wrong. What saved me was their parenting. When I finally came back around, I opened my eyes after the coma, and I realized I still could be my father's son, and I could be my mother's son, and I could be a better human being. I just have to quit being the way I've been doing and all those other things that I've done in my life. But the truth be told is this, Dad, because it was your birthday, I want to wish you a happy birthday. I miss you dearly. And Dad, thanks for living outside of your comfort zone and living on purpose for me.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.